Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real English Voices. I'm Tom.
And I'm Ria. Today, we are tackling a language learning hurdle that I think every single non native speaker has faced, right?
Absolutely. It's the invisible barrier, the silent speed bump that slows down your natural communication. We're talking about translating in your head, that little voice that goes from English to your first language and then back again before you even open your mouth.
Exactly. It adds a delay, sometimes a pretty significant one, and it just saps the spontaneity right out of a conversation. You feel like you're always playing catch up. So, today's topic is stop translating in your head, techniques for thinking directly in English and improving reaction time.
That is such a vital topic, Ria. I remember when I was learning Spanish, I went through a phase where I literally couldn't order a coffee without mentally composing the sentence in English first, translating it, checking it, and then delivering it. It was exhausting.
Oh, that is such a classic experience. And the moment you realize you're doing it, you feel a little bit defeated, don't you? Because you think, I know this word. Why am I making my brain do double the work?
It's a deeply ingrained habit, isn't it? It comes from how we're initially taught language, often through memorizing vocabulary lists with direct translations. It's a crutch, but eventually you need to learn to walk without it.
So, let's dive into the why and the how. First, let's talk about the why we need to stop. Beyond the obvious speed issue, what else does translating in your head steal from us, Tom?
Great question. It steals two huge things. First, naturalness. Every language has its own flow, its own idioms, its own way of expressing emotion. When you translate word for word, you end up with sentences that sound technically correct but feel stiff, even strange to a native speaker.
Right, because you're applying the grammatical structure of your native language to English words. It's not a true English sentence, it's a translated one.
Precisely. And the second thing it steals is confidence. When you're constantly translating, you're not present in the conversation. You're performing a mental calculation. And that hesitation makes you feel less sure of yourself, leading to fear of speaking.
I can totally relate to that. The pressure of translating fast enough while the other person is waiting, it's a lot. Okay, so how do we start to break this habit? Let's talk about the first, most foundational technique. I call it labeling your world.
Labeling your world. I like that. Tell us more.
It's simple, but powerful. The goal is to create a direct mental connection between the object and the English word, bypassing your native language entirely. Look around you right now. Don't think of the word for table in your language. Just look at the physical object and immediately think table. The door? Door. The coffee? Coffee.
So it's about associating the concept and the visual image directly with the English word. It's like teaching a baby, right? You point and you say the word.
Exactly. Do this all the time. When you're walking down the street, narrate your life in your head using simple English words for everything you see. Car, tree, sunny, walking, fast, tired. Start small, and don't worry about complete sentences at first.
I think that's an excellent bridge, and it leads perfectly into our next technique, which is about moving from single words to thoughts. We call this the inner monologue technique.
Oh, I love the inner monologue. It's my favorite form of practice because you can do it anywhere.
It's basically what we were just talking about, but taking it up a notch. Instead of just labeling objects, start formulating your internal thoughts in English. Not translating what you just thought in your language, but genuinely generating the thought in English from the start.
So if I'm thinking, I wonder what I should have for lunch, I force myself to think that exact sentence in English, even if it feels clumsy at first. I'm not thinking the equivalent in my language and then translating.
Right. If you're stressed about a deadline, the thought isn't mi jefe va a matarme, and then my boss is going to kill me. The thought is just, I need to finish this report by 5, or this deadline is really stressing me out.
The key here is not perfection. Your inner monologue is private. Let it be messy. Let it have mistakes. The important thing is the mental effort to stay within the English thought bubble.
And this is where the speed comes in. The more you practice this inner monologue, the smaller the gap becomes between the thought forming and the English word being ready. You're building that English neural pathway.
Okay, now let's talk about a more active speaking-based technique that forces a quicker reaction time. This is called shadowing and immersion mimicry.
Shadowing is fantastic and often underestimated. For listeners who haven't heard of it, what does it involve?
Shadowing is where you listen to a native speaker, maybe on a podcast like this one or a YouTube video, and you immediately repeat what they say, almost at the same time. You become their linguistic shadow.
So you're mimicking their rhythm, their intonation, and their pronunciation, all while staying just a fraction of a second behind them.
Exactly. The beauty of it is that it's too fast to translate. Your brain has to focus purely on the sound, the shape of the mouth, and reproducing the English utterance. There's no time for the old translation cycle. It forces direct English processing.
You're bypassing the logical, grammar-checking part of your brain and engaging the muscle memory of your mouth and the auditory processing centers.
And pair that with the immersion mimicry aspect. When you're watching a TV show, for example, if a character says something funny or dramatic, pause it and try to deliver that line yourself with the same emotion and speed. You're not just learning the words, you're learning the feel of the language.
That emotional connection is what makes communication real. Language isn't just data, it's feeling. Okay, let's talk about how we handle new vocabulary without automatically translating it. This is where we introduce the concept of defining in context.
This is a huge shift in learning philosophy. Stop looking up a word and writing down the one-word equivalent in your language.
Instead, when you encounter a new word, let's say the word is gregarious, don't just write down the translation. Look up the definition in English. Write it down. Gregarious, someone who is fond of company, sociable.
And then the vital next step. Write 3 sentences using gregarious to describe someone you know or a hypothetical situation. My cousin is so gregarious, he always makes new friends at parties. She realized that to be a successful salesperson, she needed to be more gregarious.
By defining it in English and using it in context, you're training your brain to understand the word based on its function and its surrounding English words, not its translation. It's creating a complete English network for that new piece of vocabulary.
It's building a concept web rather than a translation table. And what about when we are actually speaking and we get stuck? That moment of panic where the translation just isn't coming fast enough.
We need to learn how to embrace and use English filler words and phrases.
Ugh, the lifesavers. Tell us more, Tom.
English speakers use filler words and hesitation phrases all the time. You know, like, well, let me see. That's a good question. Or a simple, when you feel that translation panic setting in, don't just freeze. Use an English filler word.
It buys you crucial time. It signals to the listener, I'm still thinking, please wait, but you're doing it in English. You're staying within the language.
Exactly. For example, your friend asks you about your weekend. You want to describe a complex movie you saw. Instead of freezing up, you say, well, let me see. The movie was, kind of confusing at first, but by the end, the plot twist made everything click.
And I want to emphasize, this is natural speech. Native speakers do it constantly. It makes you sound more human and less like a robot reading a script. It's a tool for conversational flow.
So we have labeling your world, the inner monologue, shadowing, defining in context, and using filler words. That's a powerful toolkit. But Ria, I want to talk about the emotional side of this, the fear of making mistakes. That's often what sends us running back to the safety of translation.
Oh, that fear is crippling. It's the anxiety of what if I sound silly? Or what if they don't understand me? But we have to fundamentally change how we view mistakes.
We have to see mistakes not as failures, but as data points for learning. When you make a mistake, you've actually proven that you tried to think directly in English. You stepped off the translation treadmill, and that's a success in itself.
I always tell people your biggest learning moment isn't when you say something perfectly. It's when you try to say something, mess it up, and the other person gently corrects you or you figure out why it was wrong. That moment of correction is 1,000 times more memorable than just saying the right thing initially.
And this is why finding a safe, conversational partner is so important. Someone who can patiently let you work through your thoughts without rushing you.
Or even better, try talking to yourself in the mirror. It sounds goofy, but when you speak and you see your own face, you're practicing your delivery and your confidence without any external pressure. You are both the speaker and the patient listener.
That's a fantastic idea for low-pressure practice. Let's recap the core concept for the listeners one more time. The goal is to make the connection between the concept and the English sound the only connection. No middle step.
It's like rerouting the roads in your brain. You're building a linguistic highway that goes straight to English instead of having a mandatory stopover in your native language rest area every single time.
And you have to be patient with yourself. This change doesn't happen overnight. It takes conscious, deliberate practice, just like building any muscle. You might find yourself translating again tomorrow, and that's okay. Just catch yourself and redirect.
Right. If you catch yourself translating, don't beat yourself up. Just stop, take a deep breath, and say the thought again, forcing yourself to start in English. That simple act of correction is the practice itself.
So, start small. Start with labeling your toothbrush, your shoes, and your keys. Then move to narrating your journey to work in your head. Listen to us on Real English Voices and try shadowing a few sentences. Force your reaction time to speed up.
And remember, the prize here isn't just faster English, it's freer English. It's English that lets your real personality shine through, that allows you to joke, to express deep emotions, and to be truly present in the moment with the people you're speaking to.
That's the dream, isn't it? To have the real you, your real voice come through in English.
Absolutely. You have the tools now. It's time to think in English, not just speak it.
Thank you so much for joining us for this essential conversation on Real English Voices.
Keep practicing, keep making glorious mistakes, and keep pushing past that translation habit.
We'll be here next week with more tips and insights to help you master the art of natural conversation.
Until then, happy thinking in English.
Goodbye for now.
Bye, everyone.